Say hello. Hello. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name's Nastasia and this is a super chill video, just giving you some life updates. So I'm gonna get right into it because you're probably wondering about that crazy title, which is not clickbait, and yeah, I'm sure you don't want to wait too long to hear about that story. So before I get started, if you end up liking this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I feel like I'm wrestling with my words right now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on a video and a life update every time I post. So I'm not going to make you guys wait too long. Basically, I've had a pretty crazy past week or 10 days or so. So I thought I'd give you guys some life updates because the last kind of life update I gave you, other than kind of like my Q&A, was when I announced I was moving to Nashville. So I figured I'd just update you a little bit. First thing being that, yes, somebody tried to break into my house. I'm living with my mom, so it was our house. But I was home, so that was kind of scary. I had heard noises all morning, but I kind of just, I don't really get scared that often, and so I just kind of was like, it's something. Like, I didn't really care. And then I was getting ready to get in the shower, and I was literally like sitting on the toilet on my phone, and my dogs started barking, and I was like, oh, it's probably nothing. It was raining, so I was like, maybe it's, I literally was like, whatever, I don't know what it is. But I remember being like, but just in case, I'm gonna lock the bathroom door. So I locked the bathroom door, and just so you guys know, we lock all of our doors all the time, like every single lock, always. So this wasn't any carelessness on our part, but so I was getting in the shower, just listening to a podcast, loving life, get out of the shower, the dogs are still kind of barking at something, but have settled down, putting on makeup and stuff, my dog starts barking again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And I just, again, let it go, and I am hearing things, but I'm just, literally, guys, my thought was, I don't know, maybe my house is just haunted. Maybe just a demon is trying to possess my home. I know how to handle that. So that was actually my thoughts. And I was like, that's fine. I can handle that. I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. And so I was just on the couch, like, you know, writing down video ideas and kind of outlining videos and stuff. And then I heard this weird, almost like scratching noise at the front door. And I was like, that's so, like, it was a strange noise. It almost sounded like a branch, like, brushing against it or something. I'm looking in the mirror, and I feel like I look very red today. And so I was like, what the heck? So I went downstairs, I looked through the peephole, I heard nothing, I saw nothing, but I still heard something. So I went in the kitchen, I grabbed the biggest butcher knife I could find, and I went to the door and I swung it open with the butcher knife in hand, ready to tussle. And no one was there, but glass started pouring in. So we have our like normal like solid wood door with like the bunch of like deadbolts on it, and then right outside of that we have a glass security door that also locks, but it's just glass. And so the glass door was completely shattered. Like, I'm not just talking like somebody accidentally kicked it or something and there was a crack. Like, it's a thick glass door, and it was shattered, like literally in millions of pieces. Every single inch of this door was shattered. And so glass started pouring, and I was like, what the heck? And like the dogs were coming down, so I had to put the dogs upstairs because I was like, you're not gonna kill yourself in this glass today, not today. And so I was like, what the heck? And I was trying to think of every scenario. I was trying to think like, okay, could anything have hit this? Is there a dead bird that flew in our like door? Anything? And like, we have a porch and stuff, so it wasn't likely that even though it was raining, there weren't icicles, it was warm rain, like nothing, there was no big rocks around. Like, I was so confused, like that could have hit the window or something, like the door or something. Nothing. So I really start treating this like, okay, somebody might have tried to just break into my house while I was home. So I call my mom, she doesn't answer right away. Call my brother, doesn't answer. Call my sister-in-law, doesn't answer. I'm like, perfect. This is really good for me. My mom finally calls me back, and I tell her, and so she was like, all right, go ahead and call the police, and I'm going to leave work now and head home, and go ahead and go across the street and ask the guy across the street, because, like, I don't live in, like, a rural area. Like, I don't live in the country or something. I live in a freaking, like, I have houses all the way around us. So, and, like, a busy road nearby. So it's weird that it was, like, broad daylight. Like, this was, like, about 1:30 to, like, 3 o'clock. This had to happen. Like, daylight. I call 911, and, you know, they ask, like, my address and stuff. I tell them. They ask me to describe what happened, and I say, like, I explain everything I just told you guys, and, I'm talking like this, like, I'm talking calm, I mean, I'm not like, yeah, somebody tried to break into my house, like, but I'm like, you know, I think this happened, and they ask, like, is anybody in the house, like, have you gone through the house, and I was like, I've been in the house the whole time, I don't think anybody else is in, I checked all the other doors, by the way, they got in the glass door, but, like, none of, like, the wooden door, like, the door with the deadbolts, like, it was still locked and everything. And the glass door, when I went up to it, we always lock every single door. My mom is very particular about locking every single door. And then I checked the glass door then after it was, like, broken from the outside, and it was unlocked. And, like, ajar a little bit with, like, the glass kind of holding it open then, all the broken glass at the bottom. So I know it was somebody. But they weren't able to get in. So I'm telling the cops all this, or telling the 911 operator person, and she's like, okay, do you feel like you're in a safe place, blah, 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 and I was like, I feel okay, but I would like somebody here, because, like, somebody just tried to break into my house, and she's like, yeah, we'll have somebody right away, blah, blah, blah. So I go across the street in the meantime to check, because my neighbor apparently has cameras, just, like, a really nice older guy, like, older man. I go over there, I explain what happened. He says, no, I'm sorry, I don't have any cameras. I'm sorry, and I don't know, my mom thought he did, but he didn't. Comes over and looks at it with me, so I'm like, well, crap, now we really can't see who did this or what did this or whatever. So then my mom finally gets home. It's also pouring rain at this point. I'm still very calm. I haven't, like, freaked out or anything. For some reason, my anxiety is fine in crisis situations, but, like, if a boy tells me I'm not pretty, then I just have a full-blown panic attack, so that's apparently how my anxiety goes. But, yeah, so my mom got home, that was, like, an hour later, the cops still hadn't come, and I was like, wow, okay, and, then it got to be 2 hours later, 3 hours later, 4 hours later, and, finally, it was like, oh gosh, 8 o'clock p.m., so I had called them at 3. It was 8 p.m., and nothing. So I called the, just like the non-emergency police department line 3 times. And every time, no one answered. Like, nobody answered the phone. And so I couldn't get a hold of them that way, so I just finally called 911 again. And the first 911 operator earlier that day was really nice. This guy was not nice. And he's like, what's your emergency? And I was like, blah, blah, blah. I kind of explained, he was like, what's the address? And I gave the address, and I guess it was still in the, like, system before I could even say anything. He was like, ma'am, has anything changed, like, between the time you called earlier, like, when I reported the incident? And I was like, no, but it's 5 hours later, and, like, we're hearing noises, and we're scared at every noise. And, like, my mom goes to bed really early, because she has to get up really early. So it's kind of like, I was like, no. I mean, except for the fact that 5 hours have gone by and nobody's come here. Like, no officer has come. And he's like, if nothing's changed, there's nothing I can do about it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I mean, I guess we're wondering, like, should we just go to bed? Is anybody gonna come tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I have no idea. I was like, okay, that's fine. And granted, it was very rainy, and they were saying that they were backed up because of the rain. And there are certain areas near us that got flash flooded and stuff. So like, okay. So I call back later. This is like 9:30 at this point. I finally get a hold of somebody at the cops, like the police station non-emergency line. And the guy was super nice. And by the way, I'm never mean to people who like answer the phone. I know it's not their fault. I'm never ever rude. But I was kind of like, I mean, it's been 5 hours. Is anybody coming? Like, and he was just super rude to me. But this guy at the police officer station was the police station was really nice, and I was kind of like, I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's been a long time. He's like, yeah, we see on here you've been waiting all day, we're sorry about that, and kind of explained, like, the priority levels, and that I was basically on the bottom of the priority level list because, we didn't feel like somebody was in the home or anything, so I was like, okay, yeah, I guess, but it also kind of sucks because it's like, somebody tried to break in while I was here. My car was outside, my blinds were open, and my lights were on in my room. So somebody knew I was home, and they just didn't care. And they were going to break it anyway. And that, like, bothers me. And so it was kind of like, I told him on the phone, I was nice, but I was kind of like, I guess it just sucks because, like, I'm a 5'3", 120-pound, 22-year-old girl. And nobody was able to come out and help and make sure that I was okay and make sure that nobody was, like... like, investigating. He's like, yeah, I understand, I'm so sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. And he basically said, we are pretty backed up, all this. So I was like, okay, would it be better if I canceled the call tonight, call in the morning, which is this morning today. So that happened yesterday. This is me today. This morning, would it be better if I called then and somebody could maybe come out then if you guys are less busy? And he's like, oh yeah, we're like almost never busy in the mornings. It should be totally fine. Call us then. I was like, okay, thank you. Go to sleep. Sleep with weapons by my bed. And so did my mom. And then wake up in the morning. I call the police station. I explain the situation again. And I say, can somebody come out this morning? The lady's really nice and is like, yes, we can definitely have somebody out this morning. I see that you've had to wait a long time. We'll have somebody out. And it's pretty early at this point, so I'm like, okay, I have to leave by noon somewhere. But I'm like, okay, they'll come before then. She says, and if for some reason they don't show up before you have to leave, call us again. So it is 11:55 a.m. at this point, and no one has come to check out the possible break-in that happened yesterday at my house at 3 p.m. Not a single officer. And I also want to say this, like, I have the utmost respect for police officers, anyone in law enforcement. I am pro-cop. I am pro-everything like that. I freaking love supporting, like, law enforcement, and I have so much respect for what they do. And I'll explain a little bit. Like, I'm not even mad at them necessarily, and I'll explain that. But it is very frustrating that somebody who I so much am always defending police officers and, like, always trying to find the good in people and, like, understand how much stress they're under. Like, it sucks that it's been like over 24 hours now, and nobody has come to see if we're okay. Like, when our glass door was completely shattered, like, they could have gotten fingerprints, they could have gotten anything, but now it's been raining all day. Like, I don't even know if they could now, and it just sucks. But yeah, so I had to leave, so I called them back, and I was like, I mean, I have to go, so I guess cancel the call. And yeah, that's where we are right now. It is, almost 6 o'clock p.m. the next day, so it's been 2 days, and nobody has come to see. No officer has come to see what happened for us to file a report, which is really disheartening. But the point I want to try to make that I'm not necessarily mad at the police officers is I have a political background. So I majored in politics and policy. My degree that I graduated with is in that. And so I know how that works a little bit. And in, like, Nashville area specifically, like, the police department, they're very short of police officers right now, and part of that reason is morale is low because they were supposed to be getting a raise recently, and instead the politicians gave it to themselves. Instead, the politicians gave themselves a really big raise and didn't give a raise to the police officers, which sucks. And so, of course, morale is low. Of course, people are trying to probably find other jobs. Of course, they're short, like, 100 officers. And so it sucks, but it also sucks that, like, when I was driving on my way to meet my friend today at noon, that I saw, like, 4 cops parked on, like, the same highway, like, 3 miles apart, looking for people to, like, speeding, and I'm like, could one of you, like, do I have to speed to get one of you to just come and check out this situation where somebody tried to break in my home and they knew I was there? And so it's just very, like, it's not their fault. They're put in, like, they get their assignment of where they have to stay, and I understand that. It's just all a frustrating situation that I'm upset about. Anyway, anybody out there who maybe watches my videos who doesn't have the greatest intent, I know most of you are amazing. But if anybody watching out there doesn't have the greatest intent for my life, or has some kind of creepy agenda, just know that we are a home that 100% believes in and practices our Second Amendment rights. And even though I brought a butcher knife to the door, that's not all we have. I'll just put it that way. And as you can probably tell, since I went over to the door and swung it open with a butcher knife in my hand, I'm not afraid, and I'm ready to tussle if you need to tussle, but I'd rather we didn't have to tussle at all. But just know, if anybody's watching out there that for some reason knows anything about my location and has something creepy in mind, we know how to handle ourselves. Even when the police don't respond or something, we can protect ourselves. So just know that was on a serious note. But on a happier note, other life updates super quick. I got a job. I'm really warm. Sorry. I got a job. I got a full-time job, and I'm really excited. Better than I expected it to be. I'm not going to give like details necessarily, because this incident had me a little spooked, and I want to be very careful with who knows where I'm at what times, but I will say it's in a specific kind of medical office, and it is like front desk work. So I'm very excited about that, and I love customer service, and the people there seem so, so kind. They're all Christian, and they're all so nice and inviting to me and loving, and I'm really, really excited. The pay is good, full benefits, and I can just work my tail off there and save money and still be able to do YouTube, which is so exciting. And focus on you guys and post consistently as well. So I'm really excited about that. That's such a blessing, and it couldn't have happened at a better time, because right when I got that, right before I found out I got the job, my car was checked out, and they figured out that it's kind of on its last little fingernail. It's dying quickly, and I'm gonna need a new car soon. But that's okay. God provides, and He provided me a job, so I'm really, really excited to be able to get a new used car at some point soon. Yeah, so things overall have been really, really good. Other than that little scare, which I still, like, I didn't cry about it, I didn't freak out over it. I know how to protect myself. Everybody in this household knows how to protect themselves. So because of that, I'm good. And God definitely protected me, so thankful for that. But yeah, those are some life updates from me, but I'm loving Nashville so far. I really do love it, and I'm making good friends, and yeah, I love it here so far, and I'm thriving. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little life update, super chill, and I will see you guys next time. Love you so much.